Welcome back to Ta-Da 3D Printing. Today we will be unboxing the Core One by Prusa. This is Prusa's new Core XY single extruder enclosed printer. This is the fully assembled version that I purchased on the pre-order day, which was November 19th. It shipped on February 11th, and I received it on February 17th. So the pre-order for the fully assembled took just under 3 months for me to get. I did purchase the satin sheet with it. I'm not sure which default plate it had come with, so I want to see if that's in here or if that shipped separately. But with the satin sheet, the taxes and the shipping, it was just a little over $1,400. This is a single extruder, not a multicolor option. So they've been talking about MMUs in the blogs. I don't know if that's going to be the existing MMU3 or if there's going to be some kind of modification to that. And this was purchased with my own money. I do have a Prusa affiliate link, so if you use that, it helps out the channel. But this was purchased by me, and I was not in any sort of YouTube early review or anything like that. So that's the time frame that it took to get. And now I want to see how long it takes to set up the fully assembled printer. So let's get into it. This box was a little over 50 pounds, and I did notice that I have like a crunch right there, and that there's a little bit of a kind of an indent here. So I'll have to see if there's anything with the actual inside that's damaged, but usually these are packaged really good, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Looks like we've got the satin. We've got a steel sheet on top and the satin sheet. So it looks like I've got both of those on top first thing. We've got gummy bears. We have a power cord, anti-vibration bars for the Core One, your little thank you, and the cheat sheet on the back. We do have a 3D printing handbook. Of course, everything checked out okay. Flash drive. And some accessories. It looks like we've got some rivets, the alcohol, and the lubricant. So just a couple things that they added. And it looks like we've got an entire roll of Filament. Let's see what color this one. Okay, so we've got the Galaxy Black. Yeah, looks like it's a whole roll. Great. Wow, this does seem fully assembled. All right, so I need to take this out, flip these flaps up, then it looks like I can just pull this whole machine out. See how heavy this thing is. Wow. Okay, so I am going to attempt to lift this, and there's no way that I can pick that up. Okay, so while these flaps are a great idea, they look sturdy. It's just too heavy of a machine for me to remove like that. Even if I did set it on the ground, I just cannot lift it. So, in fact, I had to have my husband help me get the box onto the table. So, because it is assembled, that's great, but it's kind of hard to get out of the box. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just cut the box open. I'll fast forward this because I'm sure that everybody else will probably be able to either remove the printer by themselves or they'll have somebody around that can help them. At first I thought I just needed to cut off the front, but I ended up needing to cut off one of the sides as well, and then I was able to slide it off of the box. Okay, so I'm looking at the unpacking instructions and realizing that this is on its side. I don't know why I thought it would be wider than taller, but sure enough, it's definitely taller and it needs to be flipped over. Ooh, that is pretty. And we've got something over here. Oh, okay, here's the screen and some tools. Okay, cool. Got some orange on the side, it looks like, as well. That's cool. I'm able to slide the printer off of the cardboard that it came in, but I would recommend not doing that at this point unless you're able to get to the back of the printer without sliding it around. Because I slid it off and needed to get to the back later, I ended up scratching my table. So the feet that come with it, I would make sure that just where you set it, that you're not going to be sliding it at all. All right, now it's saying that I need to get the bezel out of the door. So that is one thing that I don't love about reflective glass. Okay, so it says to remove the front bezel by lifting up on the right. I'm assuming it's this. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm wanting to remove this. Then connect the flat gray cable to the orange connector. Mind the orientation. The pink stripe should be closer to the edge of the display frame. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so this needs to go with the pink side towards kind of like the L here. And there's not much slack to plug this in. Make sure I get it on both sides. Okay. And then this slides onto this little metal piece right here. It needs to be flat out. Okay, that worked out. Okay, so I'm gonna need to attach the screen to this, but I feel like I need to flip this because doesn't that seem like it would go this way? Yeah, I would think so. And then we can attach these screws that are already on it. Remove those. Yeah, that looks like it's correct. Okay. Open up our tool bag here. Okay, there's already 2 screws here, so I am just going to loosen them a little bit and see if I can get this to slip on, because I don't know why it wouldn't. Yeah, looks like it just slips on. And I can tighten it. Okay. And then I just need to carefully scooch this back. And I can already feel the magnets gripping pretty good. So let's make sure that I've got it aligned correct. But first insert the left side, then the right side. Okay, so we'll just go left and then slip together pretty good. There's something in the instructions about reversing the swing on the door, but I'm okay with how this goes. I think that'll be fine. Now we need to just plug it in, make sure it's off. And that looks like it's pretty much it. Okay, let's flip this thing around. Oh, wow, okay. Definitely need to put something underneath this because as heavy as it is. Okay, we've got our power cord. And that should be pretty simple. All right, plug it on the other side. Okay, I don't love that the power's on the back. All right, let's see what we've got. No firmware found. I guess I should have plugged in the USB. Yes, I'll flash the new firmware. I sped this up, but it took about a minute to flash the firmware. Okay, I want to be in English. And of course we want to go through a calibration. That's interesting. Nozzle diameter. Stock and extruder. Yeah. Yes, I do want it to be on my Wi-Fi. Oh, I need to get my phone. I try a couple times to connect with this NFC when I say that the Core One is not connected, and then I try it again as saying that it is connected, and I can't seem to get this to work with the NFC. Maybe I'm just not close enough to the printer, but I don't remember doing it before with the MK4. Okay, so I just said cancel and I'm doing scan networks, and I do see it. Okay. Okay, so it's connected. So I didn't need to use my app at all, unless I want to do it now. Okay. So yes, I of course want to add it to my Prusa Connect account. Okay. This fails to connect, and I misunderstand this QR code and think that if I just scan it in the app that it's going to connect. But I think what it's actually telling me is that it had a failure to connect, and it's telling me how to fix it. So it keeps glitching out when I'm trying to scan it through the app. And I don't realize until I come back to it later that I just needed to back out of this. Okay, this had kind of glitched out on me when I was trying to do the network settings. So let's see if I can do. That's interesting that there's MMU already on this firmware. Okay, network. I already put the Wi-Fi in, right? Yeah, my Wi-Fi's in. So now I just need to do the connect, Prusa Connect. So I'm enabled, add printer. Okay, so now I'm going to scan my QR code. So let's go ahead and add. and it's already connected. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to work now. Okay, that went through, so I don't know what was happening before. Let's name this the Core One. Okay, well, we got it. So now I've got my Core One added, I've got an MK4 and my XL. I still need to add a couple more to this, but at least we've got the Core One going. Okay, awesome. Successful. Okay, so I want to run self-tests. Make sure the print sheet is installed, which it is not. Okay, I'll start with just the regular steel sheet. A little different look on this one. I think that it's the same size though as the MK4s and 3s, but we'll find out. Okay. Ooh, wow, that's loud. This calibration does need a little bit of help from you. Close the door to prevent air drafts, burns, and other undesirable effects. Ooh, it knew that I closed the door. And then the second thing that I had to help it with was the load cell test. This calibration overall took about 5.5 minutes. The gearbox calibration is only necessary for user assembled or serviced gearboxes. In all other cases, you can skip. So I'm going to skip since this is an assembled by Prusa printer. All right, now we need to put some filament in. So I'm going to go ahead and use the full kilogram from Prusa because I figure I might as well just get this loaded so I can just start printing something right afterwards. Okay, looks like, all right, it looks like this is where I'm gonna set it up. And it looks like the filament will go like this way, I would think. Looks like there's already one in there that's orange. So that's clearly their test. So I'm gonna unload that first. Heating up the hot end to unload the filament took just over 1 minute. Okay. So I can take that out. This is the orange. All right, there is nothing. It's asking me for filament sensor calibration. Is filament in the filament sensor? No, there shouldn't be anything in there right now. And now it wants me to go ahead and put it in. Okay, I could tell as soon as I had it in there, turned green and said continue. Okay. Okay, now it's saying to remove the filament. All right, filament sensor is calibrated and happy printing. So that's good to go. I guess I need to go ahead and put the filament back in. I'm not really sure why it asked me to unload it. Oh, there's lights inside. Okay. You can see the orange is starting to come out now and turn to the black. Yes, color is correct. Okay. So I guess now really the only thing left is to take off there's still some wrapping. Oh, I guess I can get that out. Oops. Sticky front. You can see everything behind me, my plants and all my junk. All the pieces of the box that I was not paying attention to. That is one thing about these printers is they just reflect everything. Okay, so now there's also a panel here that looks like I need to remove. Well, maybe I need to remove those rivets. Huh. That's a little weird. Why do we still have that on if the rivets are... Okay, I guess it's coming off fairly easily. I didn't realize that you could see in from the side too. Okay, there's one on this side. And one on top. Okay, I grabbed an MK3 sheet because I wanted to see if they are the same size. Yes, they're the exact same size. Looks like even the notches at the top are the same. So this one has the branding of the Core One. This one that I grabbed is MK3, but it looks like they're interchangeable. Which makes sense since you can upgrade your MK3 and MK4 all the way to this. So I would think it would need to be the same size build plate. So we did not gain any extra space with the Core One. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start a print. I want to see what comes on this USB drive though. All right, let's see. So we've got a keychain. Let me zoom in on here a little bit. Okay, we've got keychain, dual color. I'm assuming that's just a layer change, yeah. Benchy rules, benchy bonkers, spatula. Yeah. Scandic plate overhang. Huh, that's a test print. Interesting. Rocket engine is 19 hours. Yeah. The Robo Alpaca is 4.5. Lighthouse without benchy. How long is that one? 22.5 hours. I don't think I've seen this one. Wow, that's cool. And how many grams? 665 grams. So a little over half a roll. And that's it. Well, let's start with a quick something. The Benchy rules is 14 minutes and the Benchy bonkers is 8 minutes. Well, let's start with the Benchy bonkers because that sounds great. 8 minutes. Oh, I'm just now realizing I don't have a camera set up on this. I have to figure that out to get a time lapse. Eight minutes, 7 grams. Okay. Oh, this is going to be interesting. It wants me to close the door. But I think if I close the door, you can see okay down there. But if I go up here where the extruder is, you're just going to see everything behind me. Let's see if we can adjust that. Okay, let's see if from this angle we can see everything or if that bar is going to make it real tricky to see. So we're going to do Benchy bonkers. Everything should be loaded and good to go. All right, let's see how it goes. This 8-minute Benchy, that's the bonkers Benchy, with the little calibration that it does before it starts and heating up the hot end. Instead of being 8 minutes, it took 10.5 from start to finish, which seems pretty typical, honestly. Probably could have let it cool down just a little bit more, but why? I want to see how it looks. Okay, it is very lightweight, I can tell, but it looks pretty good. Let's see if I can get a little more light here. There you go. You can see from the outside light, you can see a little spot where it started, maybe? Nah, just a little bit of a zit right there. Yeah, that turned out really good. Okay, well let's do the Benchy with regular rules and see how that turns out. Okay. This is the Benchy rules. And this one on the left is the bonkers Benchy. And I can actually tell just by tapping them which one's which. This one, the left is the bonkers. But they both look really good, honestly. I know the glitter in the Galaxy probably hides stuff a little bit, but I feel like they both look really good. Okay, time for a longer print now. So my first impressions of the Prusa Core One are that I really like this printer. I feel like it's really fast, it prints really well, it's very sturdy, I feel like it is a really good quality, and the unboxing of the fully assembled was the fastest I've ever done of Prusa. It pretty much was just getting it out of the box, plugging in the screen, and going through the calibration. And even with recording, it took me just around a half an hour, and I would say if you didn't have the same issues with me trying to get a heavy printer out of a box, or some of the issues I had with connecting to my network, you could probably get it done in about 15 minutes. So it was really very fast. For Prusa, this is the fastest ever and maybe the fastest of any printer that I've unboxed. My next steps will be looking into a camera for this printer as well as just testing it out against my other printers. Let me know if there's anything specific you would like to see on this one and your overall thoughts. Thanks for watching.